It's the Daily Gogetemism Show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We going to do this thing, and when it's all over, we goes then. So here it is, Pretty Petty Tuesday on the Daily Gogetemism Show. And today we're talking about control freaks and their partners. What you know, control freaks and their partners. Some people gotta be all the way in control. And some people, seem to be all right with it. And other people be wondering, why would you listen to this dude and the next guy? Why? But this is something we're gonna take a look at it. Look at it because it's the Daily Gogetemism Show, and we are in motion. Control freaks and their partners. Why would somebody submit to somebody who was super controlling? And are they holding the keys to your success, or are they so good at talking that mess that you feel blessed? What you know. It's time for the DG Show. Control freaks and their partners. Have you ever been involved with a control freak? It could be your man, your woman, your boss, your mama, your daddy, your brothers, somebody other. But nonetheless, just because a person is a control freak, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're not a good person. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're not a good-hearted person. It just means that they are used to taking control. They are used to being in charge of a situation, even if they got no business being in control of it. So let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at this situation that we're talking about. Control freaks. Now, what makes a person go from just being controlling to being a control freak? Are they controlling or are they freak? Are they controlling or are they a freak? Are they controlling or are they a freak? Do you like which one of them that I speak? T. Carey Wright is all up in the house. How you feeling, ma? It's good to see you come out. Emily Dunlap is in the house. Bow! She about to turn it out. An ancient view from the stars. I'm glad I know who you are. And my girl, Carol Chamberlain, mi favorita. So glad to see ya. And you know the deal. We're going to do this thing on the Tuesday night for real. For real, G. So, man, thanks for coming through, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all slam that like button as y'all come in here. Make sure y'all share the show. And make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so thus far. Let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun 752. And this your daily. The Daily Gogetemism Show. We do this every single day. Every day it rains. Every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. I'm your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the. And if you can't say Omar with the, then practice saying Omar with the. And if you can't do that, it's just Omar with the R. This is the Daily Gogetemism Show on this Pretty Petty Tuesday, and we are in motion. I'm feeling kind of good. 7 o'clock over here, 7:07 to be exact on the East Coast time dial. And we are talking about control freaks and their partners. See, in order for somebody to be controlling, they have to be in control of something. It doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be in control of somebody. And I think that's where we may get it twisted. But they do have to have an audience. They do have to have somebody who is going to adhere to their controlling ways. Now, when you talk about somebody that is controlling, that puts a negative thought in a lot of people's minds, because they start looking at it like, yo, normally when a person is controlling, they're also possessive and controlling. And sometimes they violent, and I don't like that shit. They always want you to remain silent as they talk that bullshit and smack you around and always making you look like a clown and beating you down. But is it always that way? Have any of y'all ever been exposed to somebody who was controlling? Have you ever been around a controlling person? Is it you? Are you the controlling one? Yes, I'm talking to you. Because it's not always somebody else. Sometimes it is you. You could be the one who is controlling. You may be the one, let me be the one You give your love to the one you need, baby. Baby. Hey, sometimes you are the controlling one. Sometimes, certain circumstances in life may have warranted that you take control of a situation, and you've been able to do pretty well in that. It was your thing. And so maybe you got so used to being in control of a situation because everybody was always looking at you to be the leader. So you said, hey, maybe this is the role that I was born to be in. So maybe you started embracing it. And I don't think that there's a problem with that as long as you are the type of controlling person or the type of leader that leads people to a positive place. Now, when we use the word controlling, that's normally not the connotation that we have. We're not normally talking about somebody who has good intentions. A lot of times we label somebody as being controlling after we have separated from them for some reason, whether we stop being friends with them, whether we stop being boyfriend or girlfriends with them. A lot of women are controlling. Baby. And you may not hear a man speak about it a lot of times, but you'll see all of the evidence. Like, people have a way of telling you that the person that they are with, the person that they are in love with, the person that they've been down with, the person that they are in a relationship with is controlling. And they may not use the word controlling, but they will use other adjectives that will put you onto it. Like, my girl is so jealous. My girl is so jealous. She loved me so much. She don't want nobody ever getting around me, talking to me, or calling me on the phone. And that is whether it's my co-workers, friends from back in the day, or my mom. Yes, there have been women that are so controlling. They don't even want you around your mom, your sisters, your girl cousins. What you mean? I can't be around my girl cousin? That's my cousin. We grew up together. Yeah, well, girl cousins ain't supposed to look like that anyway. And what kind of cousins be hugging and kissing when y'all see each other? Having control of a situation, being a control freak. A lot of us will start to think about people like number 45 when we start talking about somebody who's a control freak. I mean, think about it. This man stands in front of the camera all day during this coronavirus crisis, the COVID-19 crisis, to make sure that nobody don't say nothing bad about him. He's standing in front of the camera all day. You don't have no presidential work to do, motherfucker. But he wants to make sure, I'm gonna make sure don't nobody say nothing about me. They're not even gonna have to retract no statements, because I'm gonna make sure that they don't say it while I'm right here. Right here. Be right here. Right here. Be right here. Okay, wait, Annette Davis, the number one. What's going on? Okay. All right. Oh, by the way, y'all can call into the show 319-527-6199. That's the number to call. I said a 319-527-6199. Yes, y'all. I said a 319-527-6199. Get on the line. I said 319-527-6199. Yo, get your shine, baby. You can call into the show. Press number 1, and that will let me know that you would like to speak. If you don't want to speak, don't press number 1. You can just listen to the entire show on the audio. You won't be able to see the video unless you have YouTube on. However, you can listen to the whole show, and that's the way we used to do the show back in the day before we started getting on video. So it's all good. It's all love. So if you want to call in, shoot your shot, talk your shit, spread your word, put in your 2 cents, ask a question, make a statement. If you want to laugh, you can laugh. You want to cry, you can cry. You want to scream, you can scream. You want to yell, you can yell. You want to go off and do tell. It's all right as long as you come through with your passion and your respect, and everything is going to be cool. Everything be all right, man. It's going to be all right. You know what I mean? Yo, man, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? It's a Daily Gogetemism Show, and we are talking about control freaks and their partners. Control freaks and their partners. Yeah, it's a little play on words. It's just a little bit. You take the word and you take the word control and you take the word freak. What happens when you put the two together? Are you getting a good thing? Because control is one of those things. Control is one of those things. Freaks are one of those things. Well, I guess freaks are some of those things. Okay. But nonetheless, when you put the two together and you get a compound word like control freak, you could be talking about, you're not necessarily talking about a freak nasty person that is over sexualized, but you may be talking about somebody who is a fanatic. So when you're talking about somebody who is controlling and or someone who is always in desire of being in control, but they're freakish with it. Like they cannot relinquish control to anybody else. They have to have total control and manipulation of a situation, or they are uncomfortable, or they start to act out and act a fool. They start to act a fool. Act. ACK, a fool. ACK, a fool. Listen. Ancient view from the stars. I'm gonna give you a word of advice. Don't follow Emily Dunlap's lead. You don't want to listen. You don't want to do that. Don't follow her lead. You know what I mean? She's going to lead you astray. Very, very astray. But she's going to be right back here every day. That's the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Some people tear you down and build you back up, sort of like a fraternity or sorority, some kind of crazy shit like that. But don't get caught up with her mess, because she's a control freak. It's all good though. Love is love, baby. All right. And that Davidson number one. Valerie. Miss Green is all up in the house. How you feeling, Miss Green? Good to see me some you. You know that is true. I'm glad you came through. Carol Chamberlain says, I have control freak tendencies. Okay, wait a minute now. Wait a goddamn minute. Just wait a goddamn minute. Chill. Side, chill. Let's look up the word. Let's find the Webster or dictionary definition of control freak. Definition of a control freak. What we got?
Here's the definition of control freak. Informal. A person who feels an obsessive need to exercise control over themselves and others and to take command of any situation.
See, with that definition, it doesn't sound all that bad. A person who feels an obsessive need to exercise control over themselves and others and to take command of any situation. Now, that's okay if you're qualified to be able to take control of it, if you're able to lead in a positive direction. But control freaks, they take the reins. You know what I mean? They'll take the gun out of your hands and don't even know how to pull the trigger. Like, do you know how to take the gun off safety? No. So how are you going to use the gun? If I can't shoot him, I just pistol whip him. Like the motherfucker's 100 yards away. I'm saying though. I'll run him down. I'll run down on him and pistol whip him. And he'll let me do it. He or she'll let me do it because they scared that I'm going to shoot him. You need better control. You need better control over yourself. What personality disorder is a control freak? That's a good question. In terms of personality type theory, control freaks are very much the type A personality, driven by the need to dominate and control. An obsessive need to control others is also associated with antisocial personality disorder. I said antisocial personality disorder. I said antisocial personality disorder. The niggas is crazy as hell. They 2-3 cents from a quarter. Anyway, these 730 niggas, man, y'all know what I'm talking about. A person who feels an obsessive need to exercise control over themselves and others to take command of any situation. I think it's interesting that they say a person who feels an obsessive need to exercise control over themselves. I never looked at a person who was a control freak as having control over themselves. And you know why? I'll tell you why. I don't consider them to have self-control or control over themselves, because if they did, then they would be able to give way. They would be able to delegate. They would be able to share. They would be able to allow somebody who is more qualified to fulfill a position to go ahead and do their thing. If you had self-control, if you exercise control over yourself. Now, am I alone in that thought? Am I the only one who believes that? I don't know. But I've never looked at a control freak as having control over themselves. I've never looked at them as having good self-control. Carol Chamberlain, I said Carol Chamberlain, mi favorita, since you consider yourself to have control freak tendencies, can you tell me a little bit about why? Why do you say that you have control freak tendencies? Like, where does that lead you? You know, how does that work in terms of you? T. Carey Wright says, I am strategically and diplomatically controlling at work. Diabolical. She diabolical. Like, I'm not going to be outright controlling so everybody can be on my back and then they find a way to gang up on me and shit and take away my ability to control. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all up in their capillaries. I'm not even going to get in their veins and in their arteries, baby, because it'll be easy for me to detect. It'll be easy for them to detect me. I'm going to get all up in their capillaries, baby. Blood vessels. Yeah, I'm going to get all up in your capillaries. You don't even know you fucked up and doing what I want you to do. Because I'm all up in your capillaries, baby. You couldn't even detect me. You need a microscope. You were so worried about the arteries taking the blood from the heart and the veins taking the blood to the heart. You ain't even see me all up in the capillaries. Just, Okay, I hear you. I see you. Diplomatically controlling. Hey, non-threatening black woman here. I'm on your side when times get rough and you need some understanding. I'm on your side. My name is Taki Capillary. Carrie Capillary. Ancient View from the Star says, what do you consider controlling exactly? Like if you tie somebody up in the basement controlling, yeah, well, that would definitely make you controlling. But the manipulation that people who are controlling, see, the thing about a controlling person that I think is remarkable is that they do have to have a certain amount of intelligence in order to be able to force their whims on somebody, in order to have the influence that they need in order to exercise control. You can't be stupid and controlling, because if you do, then you gotta basically do what you're talking about, tie somebody up in the basement, but you gotta guerrilla your way through life. And ain't nobody really trying to, all that bullying, all of that strong arm controlling. People aren't really with all of that, especially up front. So people are going to avoid you. It would be very hard to get people on your side if that was your mode of control. So when you come off as somebody who has good ideas, somebody who has certain abilities, someone who is astute, someone who is skilled, someone who is knowledgeable, someone who has good ideas and planning, and that's how you manipulate situations. Not only when we talk about manipulating a situation, in order to be a manipulator, you have to calculate. You have to calculate a way to trap people into not being able to move this way or that way or that way or that way. You get them right where you want want them to be. That's how you get control of them. That's how you manipulate them. Manipulate in Spanish is manipular. 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 And many people who are controlling are manipulative. They have to find ways to get people to do what they want them to do without having any other choices to do otherwise. Do you understand? Do you underdig? Do you feel me? Feel me? Okay. Okay. Carol Chamberlain says that second definition is not me for sure. Okay, I hear you. Okay, I hear you. Okay, wait. Get some of y'all. Emily, I'm being honest. I think we all have them. Emily, I'm being honest. I think we all have them. You know, you're talking about controlling tendencies. Yeah, I think to a certain extent. I mean, if you don't have any controlling tendencies, then more than likely you're a doormat. Some people call people like that, in order to be more diplomatic, they just call them people who are very accommodating. They give you what you want. Like, you ain't gotta spend a whole lot of time, whining and dining that chick. You can just take your little finger and find yourself a bed or somewhere where she can lay down and just, touch her chest and just, and she'll go, oh, and her legs will spread out. Like, oh my God, I had no other choice but to do this. What are you about to do to me? My clothes just fell off. Yeah, they fell off like they just fell off. Oh, I don't have any choice. He overtook me. No, it's not a rape. It's just, he seduced me. He seduced me. Ancient View from the Star says, what you trying to turn me against Emily already? Listen, I warned you. All right? Nope. I'm not going to be controlling. You do what you want to do, but you just don't. Hey, Emily says, hey, I only control people to come watch you and us daily. Is that all? Well, love right. Okay. And besides, I follow your lead, being co-host and all. Well, what are these faces? What is all this? Okay. Narcissistic. The second definition is definitely not me. Carol says, D Young is all up in the house. How you feeling, D Young? All up in the house. Good to see me. You glad you came through, and your peoples too. Word. Annette Davis says, do you think that you are a control freak? Listen, I've been accused of being controlling. I've denied it every time. I guess by my definition of being controlling, I'm like, no, because I'm like, look, I ain't gonna make you do nothing. Do whatever you want to do. You just know that I'm doing this shit over here. So you want to, if you want me around, I'm over here doing this shit. Now, some people say, but that's controlling. Oh, I'm like, look, controlling to me is like, look, you come the fuck over here where I said you gotta go. I'm like, you go out there. Look, it's a big world out there. You go out there and do whatever you want to do. Yeah, but you know that I wanted to be with you. So you made me come over there. I'm like, we all got choices in life, ma. I'm going to stand by mine. You stand by yours. People at work, They want to say that people at work are controlling, managers, supervisors, owners, whatever. I'm like, they kind of get paid for that. Sort of part of their job description. You know, it's kind of like what they were paid to do. Ooh. Thanks for sharing the show. I mean, thanks for pushing the like button, y'all. Don't forget to push the like button. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Mucho, 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 mucho. So knowing that, I don't think that I'm definitely not a control freak. Now, if I'm controlling at times, okay, I'll cop out to that. But a control freak? What? Sometimes I wish I was. I mean, like, look, I'm gonna start making niggas do shit. You know what I mean? Like, tired of everybody out here doing what they want to do. So if I was a control freak, let me tell you about the things that I would control. I'd be like, look, I'm gonna tell y'all who to vote for in the upcoming election, and y'all bet not think about voting for nobody else. I'm gonna whoop that ass. Or, no, you know what? I'm not even gonna threaten you. Y'all bet, I said, y'all bet not vote for nobody else, or there'll be hell to pay. You're gonna be in very big trouble. Then, like all white people, I'd be like, yo, you not gonna oppress none of my people no goddamn more. All of that racism shit, that shit is done. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, you're gonna give back everything that you stole, everything that you owe, and we gonna separate this country. I'm not saying that black people can't go wherever they want, because I know, you know how niggas is. They can't help but you know, they got that Stockholm syndrome thing going on. They can't help but try to be around a white man and impress him. So this is what we gonna do. But you gonna give us, we gonna divide the country up. We taking the whole East Coast. Big surprise there, right? I started to say the West Coast, but y'all be doing too much shit over there. So nah, fuck, y'all already done messed that up. So we gonna take the whole East Coast, and by the whole East Coast, I mean we gonna start all the way from Chicago, from Illinois down to like Alabama. That's our shit. Matter of fact, from Illinois all the way down to Louisiana. We're gonna get all the Louisiana Purchase territories. So from Louisiana all the way up to Minnesota, we taking that shit. We y'all can keep all that big sky country where ain't shit out there, the Dakotas and Montana, Idaho, and all. You can have all that bullshit. You can you can have all that bullshit. Y'all got nice open spaces over there. What we got over here. You know what I mean? What we got over here, we good with what we got over here. You know what I'm saying? We got better music. So that's what we gonna do. If I had total control, that's the kind of shit I would do. And I'd be like, all right, so the black half of the black United States going to the East Coast, that's where we get to run shit. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make up all the rules. Me and my crew, we gonna make up all the rules because there's too many of y'all, backstabbing, want to take it back to the old way ass niggas. These are the kind of things I would do if I was a control freak. If I really, hey. Carol Shameless says, nope, because I'm feeling controlling right now. Know what? And TK Wright says, nobody will be up on my back. They know better. Okay. Carol says, I am controlling in the ways I express myself when I see someone I love heading in the wrong direction. I see them going wrong and I take control of a situation. Well, I think that's one thing I should have said in the beginning of the show is that I don't think that there's anything wrong with being controlling. I don't think that there are too many situations in our lives that we don't try to exercise some control over. Like, how can you be totally out of control in a situation? Like, so if you are not controlling and manipulative, how are you going to raise children? You just going to let them discover themselves and discover the world? You're not going to provide any guidance for them. Guidance is control. No, you can't stay out all night. No, you can't do what your friends do. I don't care what their mother let them do. No, I'm not, I'm not letting you. I don't care where their father let them. No, it's not. No, I don't agree with that. We're not doing that. We're not doing it. You're not. We ain't doing that. No, you have to. And the reason that I say you have to be controlling and manipulative when you are raising children is because children look for ways. Their curiosity makes them look for ways to get out of doing shit that they need to do. It makes them try to, shirk their responsibility. So if you're not there to get them to manipulate them to see the benefits in doing the right things or the things that are necessary, so they can succeed later on in life when they get a better understanding of things, then you're going to have big trouble and they're going to be headed down a road to destruction. You know what I mean? Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know too many parents that will admit that they wouldn't mind their children going to jail one day. I don't know too many parents who say that. But by the way that they have parented their children, it seems to be like sort of a rite of passage. And if you want to escape that type of situation and that type of vicious cycle, then you're going to have to take control of the situation, and you may have to manipulate times. Like, how many of you have raised your children and you had to manipulate ways for them to do their homework? Maybe you set up a reward system, some type of reward system to give them praise or reward when they did well in school or some type of activity to keep them involved and keep them from getting bored or frustrated with situations and giving up. You had to exercise some type of manipulation, yes or no? I think so. My brother Ansel Jones is all up in the house. What's going on, my brother Ansel Jones? And my brother from another mother, Norris Hill. I said my brother from another mother, Norris Hill. What's going on, my brother? How you feeling, man? Thanks for coming through, y'all. Thanks for coming through, y'all. Emily says, I'm always in control, even if it seems that I'm controlling. It is what it is. You think it won't when it weighs. Word. Okay. TK Wright says, I'm too tall and I have the get the fuck out of here with the BS face. I can say that I'm not threatening. I can say I'm not threatening all I want. But the way perception is set up, yeah, I get it. D Young says, so well said, Carol. Sometimes you need to just take control. You know, you can't always cool it now. Yeah. Stay in control. Cool it now. Cool it now. Ooh, watch out. You're gonna lose control. But when we talk about control freaks, we're not talking about your average parent. We're not talking about somebody who is probably bearable. When you're talking about a control freak, you're talking about somebody who has to be control of every situation, whether they are qualified or not. They will take control of shit that they don't own, that they're not involved with, that doesn't concern them. Somehow they always have to try to get in there and control the situation. Like, I got this. You got what? I got this. I'm gonna handle it. You can't handle this. You don't know what you're doing. Oh, I'm flying this plane. Yo, I'm not getting on no plane that you call yourself flying. No, don't get off. Everybody lock the doors. Like, yo, son, you can't put the wheels up into the plane before the plane is off the ground. Stop trying to put the wheels up before the plane didn't take off yet, dummy. All right. I'm warning you. You know, that kind of shit. Control freaks. But who are the people who submit to control freaks? Who are those people? We can't say that it doesn't go that way, because we've all known somebody who was a control freak and they wasn't by themselves. Always had a man or always had a woman. And we looked at the people who submitted to them as being weak, henpecked. Woo! Woo! Chicken head. Woo! 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 Straight chicken head. Chicken head. The only, yo, man, I came on the scene, heads was turning. The only heads you was turning was the heads of the chicken heads. Yeah, man, well, but I was in control. You know? So, what the hell? But yeah. Control freaks. People who have to have things their way. People who have to find a way for you to do what they want. Like I said, very manipulative. Manipular. And there may be times when you find yourself in the company of somebody who is a control freak. In my opinion, everybody who is a cop, all cops are control freaks. On and off the job. A lot of them cats don't know how to turn that shit off. I mean, think about it. It's a very controlling position. You out there on the street, you tell motherfuckers to get up against the wall. They got to get up against the wall. If they don't get up against the wall, you have the right to use bodily force to get them to get up against the wall. Some of them like that shit too much, the bodily force part. So they almost clapping their hands when you don't get up against the wall, like, oh God, I get the arm bar, motherfucker. I get the Billy Club. And a lot of times they can't turn that controlling part of their personality off with their regular friends and family. They are used to having command over people. Do it because I said so. They don't give out explanations unless it's a situation where somehow you have the upper hand on them. In other words, if it's a situation where their conduct could get them into more trouble, and then they will have their ability to control people taken away from them, relinquished, dissolved. Now, are all cops the same way? Depends on who you ask. Don't ask me, because the answer is yes. However, it's not on. They're not all on the same level. My uncle was a narcotics detective. Now, I think originally he was a regular street cop, but he moved to narcotics and became a detective. And he to this day, he can't turn it off. That training is in him. So you're having a regular conversation about him. I mean, a regular conversation with him. And somehow he's trying to extract all this information out of you. And then you peep it like, fuck is this shit? Huh? What you doing? So it almost makes you want to, like, plead the fifth. Like, yo, I ain't talking about, here it is, Thanksgiving and all of that. I'm not talking to my uncle. I need an attorney. I'm not talking about nothing. And you know what I mean? I want to see a lawyer. I'm lawyering up. Because he can't help it. Now he don't be like, well, now what happened here and what time was you? He doesn't do it that way. He just lets you relax, tries to seem unassuming and all of that, but he asks questions to manipulate you into telling him the truth. When you were going to tell him the truth any motherfucking way, but he controls the situation, so you'll tell him the truth the way he wants it told to him, in the order that he asks the series of questions. It's crazy. It's crazy. There's a part of me that is impressed by it, but it's a very small part. A little teeny weeny itsy bitsy. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, damn. I wish I could have stole some drug money. But hey, it's all good. You know what I mean? In the next life, maybe I'll get a chance to steal drug money, you know, and go out in a blaze of glory. But you know, is my uncle a control freak? I can't say no. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna have to go with, for the most part, yeah. But he's not a bad guy. I'll give him that. He's a very nice man. All right. T. Carey Wright says, I have no problems jumping in and redirecting a possible train wreck. Cool. Valley Green says, when you put the two together, I run. When you put the word control and the word freak together, you run. But do you run when it's just the word freak? Or do you be like, well, how freaky? Let me see this freak. Are you talking about like your ears are bigger than your whole head? That kind of freak? You know what I mean? Your legs are longer than your arms, some shit like that. Are you like a circus freak? Or are you like a, oh my goodness. Well, I never thought of doing it that way before. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Well, I'll try it once. A lot of people will sign up for the control. I'm for the freak part, but the control part is like, put them together. Yeah. Annette Davis asked, so do you think that being controlling and being manipulative are the same thing? I think that they have to involve each other. Yes. Yes. However, how else would you, if you don't manipulate, how else would you exercise control? How are you going to get control? How are you going to get control? What else? Emily says, Omar, I'm the only one that understands your craziness. No, you ain't. Maybe you the only one here. No, you ain't. Mm-hmm. Nope. Nope. And then David says, oh shit, I'm in my car with no way to mute that. Ancient View says, I'm a scorp. Uh-oh. She says, I'm a scorp. We are always accused of being controlling. Such lies. I've never known a Scorpio to try to control anything or anybody. One big astrological lie. I rebuke that lie. Those Pisces. They're controlling. Yeah, Pisces. Cancer and Pisces. Those other water signs, not Scorpio. Not the most powerful and controlling sign in the universe. No. No. No, it just says no, stop, don't. Ooh, babe. Yeah, the freak part. The freak part. So, Let me see. Hold on. This is weird. So Jones, Midwest, that is Indian reservation. It is. But if I had control, look, Indians, y'all gonna learn how to be black today. Fuck out of here with all that. Yeah, fuck all that. Y'all, we the real Native Americans. Stop fronting. We gonna cut this bullshit. T. Carey Wright says, I definitely have had incentives with my kids. You have to do it. You got to be creative as a parent, and your creativity, you manipulate sometimes. But are you a control freak? Some people have had parents who were straight up control freaks. They, up into a real older age, they manipulated and controlled their children to ways that made their children rebel. They tried to clothe their kids. Of course, you have to buy clothes for your children when they're younger, and you're probably going to buy clothes that you feel are appropriate for them. But as they become teenagers and they want to dress themselves, they may be resentful if you are, like, even not saying that they want to have either jeans hanging off their ass or if they want to be wearing all that freak clothing and all of that, but they may just want to exercise their own style, and you may be saying, no, I want you to look like this, and you're going to look like this, and they may resent that, rightfully so. So you may be a control freak parent that does not want anybody to grow in any direction other than the direction that you want them to go. So you picked out their clothes, you picked out their suitors. In other words, the people who they were going to court, the people that they were going to go with, the people that they were going to meet and interact with, their whole social lives. You wanted to be in control of that. No, you can't hang with them. You hang with them. This person can come over the house. That person can't come over the house. Why? There's nothing wrong with that person. I don't like them. They're wrong. You'll see what I mean later on in life. And it really doesn't even have anything to do with that. It's just that they may be trying to get you to grow in a certain direction because that's the image that they want for themselves, for you. Totally controlling. Totally controlling. Totally. So when you're dealing with a control freak like that, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to be respectful at all times. It's going to be hard to adhere, but people do it. That's why we were talking about control freaks and their partners. Because y'all ain't going to tell me that none of y'all have ever been involved with a control freak. It sounds like a rite of passage. I know I've dealt with them before. Very briefly. Like, don't nobody tell me what to do. That may not always be a good thing. Maybe there are times when I need better management. But there's a way to do certain things. And that ain't going to get it. You don't fucking tell me what to do, shorty. Fuck out of here. You will be telling me what to do from a distance. Every man ain't like that. The pussy be talking. Like, look. My cutty. Wherever I go, she goes. My cutty. She teach me everything that she knows. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It is what it is, baby. Drop this at the drop of a dime, baby. So, but control freaks seem to be able to find. Oh my God. You a control freak. You was just chilling. Go chill. No, not today. Get your hands off me. She tries to take control of the situation. You gonna pet me. You're gonna pet me. I'm gonna make you. No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Yes, I am. You never did it before. I did it last night. So what? That was back in the day. Back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, control freaks and their partners. You know, they find people who will bow down to them or submit to them or give way to them or agree with them or, you know, play second fiddle. Listen, I don't want to make people who who are accommodating to control freaks. I don't want to make them sound weak because my definition of weakness is different than maybe somebody else's definition of weakness. I don't think that because you allow somebody else to take control that you are necessarily weak. In all honesty, you may be stronger than somebody else, but you may be even more manipulative than they are. So they may be gaining confidence in you, you know, by you letting them lead the way. And you may be leading lambs to the slaughter. They may have you believing, you may have them believing that they are in control. Meanwhile, you are controlling the whole situation, the whole thing. And they were none the wiser. Next thing you know, when the smoke clears, they shit is all messed up and you sitting pretty and took all of their money, took their spirit, took their heart, took their will to survive. They can't survive or thrive, baby. So, you know, you never know what's going on in somebody's mind. I mean, a lot of it is left as speculation because even when we speak our mind, we're speaking our mind in real time. We're not speaking our minds as it relates to everything else leading up to that situation. Annette, I think you're right. She says, I think as parents, we all do this, talking about the manipulation part. Yeah, and Carol says, I did, you know, I know I had. Valerie Green says, dang, I thought that was foreplay. You know what? Just stop it. It can be foreplay. It can be foreplay. Okay. T. Carey Wright says, LOL, thinking that they can fly a plane just because they're good at video games. I will get angry if you refuse to let them fly. And we'll get angry if you yeah. They played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. They're like, yo, it took me a long time to get past this part. You know, when you had to learn how to fly the plane, but I did it. And I know I could do it here too. Free bird. Free bird. Free bird. And T. Carey Wright says, Philly cops can't wait until you seem like you're not following their commands. Definitely control freaks. Woo. Woo. And she says, like those New York City cops in Brooklyn, they hemmed up the young black kids in the park. Those New York cops, man, them motherfuckers. Those New York City cops are unreasonable. I got stopped by a cop about 10 years ago. He said I ran a light. I don't remember running no light. But we got out of it. I ain't no ticket or nothing like that. And it was crazy because if I would have got a ticket, I'd have been so salty because that was the day it took us 10 hours to get from Philly to Queens. 10 fucking hours. That's when I had to say I will never, ever, 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 ever travel to New York on like a Christmas Eve and no shit like that. That shit was wild. Crazy. Yeah. Woo! I said, woo! But then didn't I just go to New York on New Year's Eve? No, I went back the 30th. That's what happened. The 30th, yeah, of December. Okay. Ansel Jones says, I had a lot of supervisors that knew that they had rank and power. And they weren't book smart. So a lot of times they look like jackasses with more rank. It happens. Control freaks. Now that's not to say that they were stupid, but they may have tried to insert themselves in places where they just weren't qualified. They just weren't qualified. Nar says, unless he told you, you wouldn't know a relative of mine was a cop. I could dig it. Ancient view from the start. He says, right? We are so sweet. Yeah, Pisces was, Scorpio would say that. Yes. She did it with the Halo John too. And that says, watch it, Omar. We all know that Leo's claim to rule the world. Yeah, but we not controlling. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. Scorpio be like, you are mine. And if I catch you, if I catch you talking to anybody else, if I catch them talking to you, it's gonna be a big problem for you. First, I'm gonna kill them. I'm gonna kill them on the low. I know how to hide bodies, chop them up. You know what I mean? Apply acid and all of that shit. You know, I know how to do that. You know what I mean? I'm Scorpio. I learned how to do little dark shit like that. You know what I mean? Don't worry about it. And you see, you don't have to fear coming up missing. I'm gonna make you fear coming up obvious. You don't have to worry about coming up missing. You're gonna have to worry about coming up showing up, because you ain't gonna like it. Scorpio have you believing that they are everywhere. Like, yo, you can't go anywhere when I'm not there. Yeah, I know you think I'm in the United States and you're in Africa. I'm in Africa. Right here in Botswana. Oh, you're in Botswana. What a coincidence. We just showed up in the same place. Anyway, so a Leo will say, this is mine. Do whatever you want to in it, but just know that this is mine. Scorpio, you are mine. Leo, this is mine. Scorpio, you. Leo, this. Now, you can't say I'm lying. Can't say I'm lying. You know what I mean? Leo's too lazy to be all up on you all the time. Like, we ain't got that kind. We too lazy for that shit. Like, look, I ain't got time. Listen, shorty, you better do what the fuck I tell you to do before one of these days I show up. Scorpio will be like, you'll never be alone again. Ever. I'm the only one who loves you in the whole wide world, and I'm going to prove it by eliminating everybody else in the whole wide world. All right, let's keep moving. Ancient Views from the Start says Scorpios are the black people of the zodiac. We get blamed for everything. No, y'all don't. I don't get blamed. Y'all don't get blamed for nearly enough. Carrie Wright says, I did monitor clothes and friends, not because of an image, but because some of these friends were destructive. You see how the truth starts to come out? Valerie Green says, my dad was a control freak. If you didn't do your chores to his satisfaction, you did them over and over. Crimson and Clover do the shit over and over. What's going on, Mau Lisa? Mau Lisa. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate it. Appreciate you coming through. I appreciate you. And Shirley, the world's most precious and greatest. Bro, where you sneak up in here? I didn't see you. My bad, ma. Good to see you, ma. Word up. Lisa Mau. Lisa Mau. Oh, AY is all up in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Lisa Mau. Mau. Get your goddamn paws all for me. Don't touch. All right. Ancient View from the Star says, I was very controlling with my first 3 girls because I had firsthand experience of what it was to be a black girl. And then David says, some consider submitting to be weak when it really isn't. It's not weak to submit. It's weak to let somebody. I'll say this. It's not weak to submit. It's weak to submit to something that's actually lower than you. Let me just give y'all a little something I used to say. Never try to hide behind something that's smaller than you are. Never try to hide behind something that's smaller than you are. Never try to hide behind something that's smaller than you are. I said, no, don't do it. I said, never try to hide behind something that's smaller than you are. You a real big star. I said, never try to hide behind something that's smaller than you are. You the real star. I said, never try to hide behind something that's smaller than you are, because you the real star. I said, never try to hide behind something that's smaller than you are. Yo, be who you are. I said, never try to hide behind something smaller than you are. Yo, you the real star. I said, never try to hide behind something that's smaller than you are. You a real star. I said, never try to hide behind something that's smaller than you are. Yo, you's a real star. I said, never try to hide behind something that's smaller than you are. You a real star. Yes. 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 Good looking out, Annette Davis, the number one. Ancient View from the Star says, see what I mean? We are seen as the thugs of the zodiac. She says, by the way, Omar, do you have an extra towel? I've been looking for one in your bathroom, but I can't find one. The hell? Oh, you said you everywhere. Word up. Word up. This shit is crazy. Valerie Green says, here come your control freak talking about that damn animal. That damn animal. Yeah, man. But this whole control freak thing, it's not an easy thing. They're not easy people to get along with. However, somebody gets along with it because they always find somebody to hook up with, somebody to be there, somebody to bestow, somebody to enforce their will upon. You gonna listen to me? Girl, you gonna give me my way. You gonna take this ass whooping and listen what I gotta say. Girl, you gonna give me my way. You gonna take this ass whooping and listen what I gotta say. Uh-oh. He's control freak, yo. We better get on about here. T. Carey Rice says, Ancient says she's everywhere. Yo, I'm done. Waiting for you to finish the show. I made you dinner. Oh, shit. Sure Husband says, control freaks only have as much power as you give them. And that's true. But just like anybody in life, you're going to find something about your energy is going to make you find those who are going to bend to your whims. You'll find them. Some people do it in a positive way. A control freak doesn't normally do it in a positive way, because if their ways were more positive, then they wouldn't be classified as control freaks. Controlling, yes. Freaks, no. Controlling, yes. Freaks, no. There are plenty of people that have to be control freaks in their lives in order for them to do their jobs effectively. Coaches of sports teams, they have to be control freaks. They have to. Especially NFL coaches. They live at work. They never get to go home. Not when they're a head coach. They don't get to go home. There is no home. There are no real vacations. They have a 53-man roster and a host of other coaches under them that had that need direction, and they are in total control of that. Their plans have to be followed. Everything about their salary hinges on what they do. Everything. What they do. No matter how much somebody seems to be behind the scenes calling the shots. No, not a head coach, not of a football team, basketball too. You saw how Larry what is the coach? He coached Indiana, and then he coached the Sixers when AI was there. Larry Brown was definitely a control freak. Definitely a control freak. I mean, he couldn't even dumb it down. Not even a little bit. Even with the media. Same thing as the coach of the Eagles, Big Red, Andy Reid. A straight control freak. Straight. But he had to be. That's what they hired him for. He had to be a control freak. If not, the team's not going to have a chance, and they're going to be running around looking like they're playing a pickup game of a ball, and you're going to lose your job over that. All right. Carol Chamberlain says, control freaks always look for weak people. Well, I don't know if they're necessarily weak, but they look for people who are going to give them their way. Ancient View from the Star says parents have to control kids' lives to a point. They do. Some parents keep going too far. They keep going well into when the child is into adulthood, and children, they're going to resent that. Like, listen, I'm grown. I mean, you kind of grown, but I'm grown. Leave me alone. I'm grown. Leave me alone. Leave a message at the sound of the tone. Your answer machine message back in, like 1992. My name is Owen. I'm not home. Just leave a message at the sound of the tone. Now I will call you back as soon as I get home. But right now I'm just doing the thing, yo. Oh, I'm not home. Just leave your message at the sound of the tone. I'ma call you back. I know how to act. That's my work. Leave your message. Yo. All right. Valley Green says everyone has someone they know who is controlling. It's when they don't have boundaries. Yeah, I agree with that. Control freaks keep people waiting on the Blog Talk Radio queue. Holy shit. We have a caller on the line. Caller with the last numbers 4246. Welcome to the Daily Gogetemism Show. Thank you for holding. Thank you for calling in. What's on your mind this evening?
Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. What's going on?
You can hear me. I think I'm going to have to pause this and I'm not going to be able to hear you.
You're going to have to what?
Wait, hold on.
We were having a little moment. We were doing a lot of talking, and I was really clap. Big clap.
Uh-huh.
That's my question. Why do you feel that people are controlling? Is it that they're controlling, or is it that in some cases people are just saying, hey, this is who I am, I'm setting my boundaries? What's the difference in your opinion?
Well, we were talking about control freaks. So somebody who is a control freak is somebody who has an obsession with control, with being in control of a situation, whether or not they are qualified for it, whether or not people resist them or resent them. They just have to be in charge of a situation. And you could call it a character flaw, or you could call it somebody who really just likes to be in the mix. But nonetheless, when we gave out the definition of a control freak in the beginning, it said that somebody that always has to be in control of themselves and other people in situations. But I don't think that people who are control freaks or who are obsessively controlling are in control of themselves. Because if you are in control of yourself, then you don't have to make other people do what you want them to do, actively. You don't have to be proactive and almost forcing somebody or manipulating people into doing what you want them to do. Why not allow them to feel your energy and your positivity and gravitate towards you? Why not have good ideas and intentions and lead in a constructive way? We've known control freaks to be very destructive. Just some examples. If you take Jim Jones of the Guyana tragedy, made 900 people, forced 900 people to commit suicide by drinking cyanide-laced Kool-Aid. 900 people.
Right.
He was crazy controlling. But to his discredit, he was on drugs. So you're talking about a preacher who's almost billing himself as being God, and then he gets everybody to commit suicide, including himself. And suicide that's not a very Christian thing to do, but he was a control freak. And when control freaks get out of hand that way, it's sort of like it's like a snowball effect. I think it's like a snowball effect. Like once you see the power and influence that you have over somebody, it's hard to exercise self-control to say, all right, well, I got them to do what I wanted them to do. I was just chill, laid back. But then, when money and pussy and more power starts to get put into the mix, now it's like, yeah, you start believing that you're godlike, like you're divine, like you're ordained or superior to other people, and it gets out of hand. So I'm not really sure what drives it, but I can think of some ingredients that may be into the mix where it can influence a person to become freakishly controlling.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I think we can see that a lot in government. I think sometimes, and I don't know if you would agree with me, that the most controlling people actually are the people that are the quiet, the people that are most laid back, most charismatic, because they can get so many people to do what it is they want them to do without doing anything at all. All they have to do is set the stage for it. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Well, I don't know if I agree with that. I've never seen anybody that was quiet or unassuming be controlling. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but I've never seen it. Most of the people that I've known who were very controlling were people who were outgoing. People are impressed by a couple of things. People are impressed by people who can speak in front of people eloquently, in an influencing way. You think politicians, you think Martin Luther King, you think Malcolm X and a Martin Luther King and people of that ilk. They use their powers of manipulation and control in a positive way. They had a plan. They had structure in what they were trying to get people to do. Unlike a politician who is motivated by money. That's what politicians do. They manipulate a way to be able to put themselves in position to be able to steal money. That's basically what a politician's job is. So by having that type of influence over people, that type of what's another word for influence? That type of, well, I guess influence is probably the best word for it. But yeah, that their charisma came from their ability to speak in a way that made people listen to them and made them buy into their ideas and their way of life. And although all they really had to do was speak, but they would make other people be called to action. I mean, as positive as, let's say, a Martin Luther King was, he was also motivated by, he had a little thing for white women. Not just white women, but definitely white women. I mean, just ask the FBI. They'll tell you, like, they followed Martin around like, yo, this dude's a freak. I don't know if he's a control freak, but he's definitely a freak. But you know, that history, that doesn't necessarily.
Wasn't that the thing at the time for a lot of black men? I mean, why would he be separate?
Well, because a lot of black men are different. Not all black men are attracted to. Well, I won't blame Martin Luther King for falling victim to pleasures of the flesh. But when you confuse your message, like you're saying that we shall overcome, so you're fighting for the rights, not necessarily civil rights, because they just credited him for that. That's not what his movement was about. But if you're fighting for black people to be able to have some type of freedom, but your real desire is to be next to the person who is oppressing you, the type of person who is responsible for oppressing you and your people, I just think it sends a mixed message and not a good one, in my opinion. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, like, you know, J. Edgar Hoover had threatened Martin Luther King many times to expose him about that. Martin didn't give a fuck. He'd be like, shit, go ahead. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit you trying to say anyway. You know what I'm saying? So check it. He pulled J. Edgar Hoover's card. I mean, he ultimately got killed for it, but he didn't expose him. He didn't put it out there. Knowing Martin was real smart. Knowing him, he was like, if you tell him that I've been having sex, you know, on the low, I'm gonna tell everybody you gay. How about that? Like, no, you can't do that. Yes, I will. You gonna kill me anyway. So you know, you just never know. That's all conjecture. But you know.
Yeah, that's kind of a tricky one though. I know my mother was the still secretary, and she said that Martin King always think with all sorts of things, and certainly women, everywhere, white women were sent in to throw themselves at all of the civil rights figures, and so I'm pretty sure, especially when you're thinking about the fact that most of them were extremely young, extremely naive, extremely terrified of having to deal with that level of threat. Because we may not look at it, we think of the civil rights movement, we probably don't realize that it really was kind of like no different from any other low intensity warfare. So I think in Martin King, to his credit, you know, he had every kind of woman coming at him, and probably comes to dealing with all kinds of people like that. I wouldn't say necessarily I would consider him in a conversation about control freaks, would you? Or do you think?
I don't think that he can have that. I don't think he could have had that type of influence without being a control freak. I'm just not mad at him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think that there's a he could resist the feminine energy. I mean, he was a straight black man. He's gonna break somewhere along the line. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I'm not mad at him for that, but I'm also not going to okay, let me put it this way. I'm not going to discredit the good that he did because of his physical indiscretions, but I'm also not going to try to sugarcoat the fact that although he may have been a control freak, he also was a control weak. he was weak in the flesh. You know what I mean? Strong in the mind, weak in the flesh, which kind of makes you a little strong in the mind. I mean, weak in the mind too, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, though. You know? And all of these things happened before I was ever born or could even understand. So it could. I'm doing all of this. I'm doing all of my speaking from research history. How do I know exactly how it went down? I was not there. So, yeah.
I would say just listen to you. Bring up something very interesting. If we're talking about black men, I'm not a black man. But that's not a bad thing. I'm just a black woman. I have no way to speak about black men, but I would say that maybe black men in a society that is very anti-black male would certainly be in the position to be considered control freaks, maybe not because of something bad, but because you kind of have to be a control freak to live in a patriarchy that is absolutely anti your very survival. So as you were bringing that up, that just kind of came into my mind.
Yeah. My opinion on that is that black men have to do more to establish themselves as in a more powerful position. To, you know, society is against black males, but guess who else is against black males? Black males. You know, because they jump at too many opportunities to relinquish their power, their true power. You know, even though this is a weak example, black coffee by itself is strong as shit. It's as strong as alcohol. People who drink coffee, they'll tell you, oh, I don't, that stuff doesn't even really affect me, but it's watered down with a bunch of cream and sugar and all of that kind of shit. It's not coffee anymore. It's ice cream that's warm. When you drink coffee at full strength, like if you ever go to Starbucks and you get black coffee, Starbucks, that shit will have you flying. But when you water it down, you weaken it. So black men, if they really realize their potential and united and refuse to succumb to the pressures to disunite, to disassemble, to separate at every little stupid turn, then they would be unstoppable. They would really be the kings that they credit themselves with in passing. We wouldn't just be saying, hey, king, yeah, you the man, king. We wouldn't just be saying that. They would really be that. But because they are influenced by their oppressors so much, it dilutes them. It dilutes their power. It weakens them. And they spend the rest of their lives talking about what could have been, what almost was, what should be, and all of that. And really sometimes sounding like they're complaining about everything when they've done way too much to take away the power that was right there in their hands. And of course, I'm not talking to every black man, but there are way too many examples for me not to acknowledge that we sometimes stay in the condition that we are, even if we're just talking about our local condition, because we just refuse to believe in this shit. We fail to put the melanin to use the way that it needs to be used. We don't believe in it, or we want it for ourselves, or we want to share it with the other man who just wants to take it away from us. Or I'm sorry, we want to share it with the other women that want to take it away. So I can't be mad when a black woman complains about black men out here, like the visibly wealthy black men out here, like our entertainers and all that shit, because those are our most visible examples of black wealth or black affluence. Let me not say wealth, but black affluence. Those are our most visible examples of black affluence. And you see them time after time after time, dating who, marrying who, procreating with who, crossing over to who. Meanwhile, black women have done nothing but stick by their black men time after time after time, day after day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, decade after decade, and hardly ever break off and go to the other side. And that's why when somebody like a Serena Williams or Eve or somebody goes to the other side, we like, what the fuck? That's not what we do. That's not what black women do. They hold it down. I don't give a fuck whether they ratchet, whether they bums or whatever you may use as a negative adjective to describe them. One thing you can't say about them, even though people try to say it, is that they don't hold it down for the black man and the black family and the black community. They do, and they've been charged with the role of leading way too much than they should have. But that's a whole different story. But I'm trying to, maybe we can somehow link that into the whole control freak thing. I don't know.
I mean, can it be linked in though? Isn't it possible to link that? I just want to say a couple more things if it's okay with you.
All right.
I'm going to link it to you. But I did want to say that if you're talking about, if we're looking at it from an emotional standpoint of view, I definitely agree with you. I agree that Black men probably should do a little more. But looking at it from the vantage point of over, wow, like 500 years of, close to 500 years of systemic oppression, to the point where Black men were being hidden by Black women in potatoes, or they would be covered with potatoes and under the floor just to stay alive. There's not been, and since we've come here, there has not been one 90 seconds have a chance to even establish themselves as a stronghold of any kind here in America. Black men have remained entertainers. Black men have remained prisoners. Black men have remained under the foot of white men. Black men have not been allowed to, kind of rise up above the patriarchy. So if we're talking about that, and I'm gonna wrap it up, I promise. If we're talking about that, if we're looking at it and we're being fair, then it's isn't it kind of strange to ask Black men to hold Black 60 seconds. But now somehow or another they're supposed to come up. They have no army. We have no independent economy. We don't have any of that stuff in place. But yet people keep expecting Black men to, and I'm not negating anything you're saying, but people keep expecting Black men to be this kind of unified front. And now we're going to stand together and do whatever. I mean, I guess whatever's supposed to do. I don't know. Snatch rabbits out their ass or something, because I really don't get what they're supposed to do when literally there's not a second of the day when this system is not set up to make sure that the Black man fails in some way. The second thing, and I don't want to be unpopular, I love Black women, I'm a Black woman. Who raises Black men? If Black men are abandoning the community and going to other places, who exactly is raising the Black men who are left behind? So 10 seconds. Where's the controlling thing come from? Where's the control freak thing come from? And how does that give Black men power? And coming back to my initial statement, doesn't that leave Black men in a position where being a control freak actually is almost like a survival mechanism at that point?
Okay, a couple of things. The system is definitely set up to harm to destroy the Black family, to tear down the Black man,
right,
and to take away any semblance of power that we think that we have. However, we know that shit. So how can you be totally aware of a system that is against you, but somehow you feed right into that system? That's like being sober and you see somebody on crack and all of a sudden now you're smoking crack with them. Like, wait a minute. Who goes from sober to crackhead? Don't you have to drink first, then smoke some weed, then sniff some coke, then become a crackhead? You can't go straight from sober to crackhead. It doesn't work that way. So that's not to say that every Black man understands the way that the system is brought up. A lot of times in the entertainment system, they aren't aware of the things that are against them. When I say entertainment, I was talking about sports teams, because they've been trained, groomed, and raised to believe in the team atmosphere. So the team is what's important. Same thing as the same as the military. Although as soon as we go home, we're all separated, and I don't like them and they don't like me. But while we're here, we're all together, and we'll understand that a system of unity while we're here. And many of us think that we're gonna, that because we've learned that and accepted that and bought into that other man has bought into it too, and they haven't. Now there have been other entertainers who were fully aware of the manipulative nature and the destructive nature of the system, and they still fed into it, i.e. a Bill Cosby. What the fuck was Bill Cosby doing? This man has done nothing but yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. So we have to, at some point, you have to decide that the answer is no. No white pussy. You gotta say no. Fuck no, saying no to drugs. Say no to white pussy, because there's no way you're gonna get it and it's gonna be all right. I don't know. I can't think of a Black man on earth that has done better for himself by messing with a white woman. I can't think of one. Now let them tell it. Well, black women don't do this and black women don't do that and all that. I ain't trying to hear that shit. I know one thing. The chances of you being safe and having somebody that will protect you and your honor is a lot higher with your black woman, because if nothing else, she will recognize that the two of you are all you really have, even if mathematically not just the two of you are all you have, but it is what it is. You understand what I'm saying? Like, way too many and don't get me wrong, I know that many of us are ignorant to these things that I'm talking about. So I'm not going to say that we all are knowledgeable of the system, but there are far too many of us who claim to be woke and all of that shit, but they still feed into that Stockholm syndrome and that manipulative behavior and all of that. And these are the ones who swear they getting it out here, like think that they beat the system, think that they've left racism behind and all that kind of crazy shit. So I can't get with all that. Yeah, I can't get with all that. You know what I'm saying?
Black men date white women though. I think only what is it? Like at this point it's going up to like 10% maybe, which is a lot, but it's not as much as
no, it's not. But
it's the fallacy.
No.
See that black women can't find black men, obviously. Y'all are everywhere, y'all are fine as fuck. But the fact of the matter is that I wasn't talking about weak-minded black men. I was talking about black men in general, those who struggle out here every day, those who are, having to deal with the everyday stuff, not those who leave, not the brain drain, not the mind drain, not all of those. I was talking about the everyday black brother like yourself who's out there struggling, who's trying to navigate his way through this world, deal with his woman, deal with his child, black child, black woman. I don't even deal with white people who date outside of the race because it's not my reality. I don't put it down. It's just not my reality. So if they do. I respect it. I respect them, but it's not my reality. So what I'm talking about specifically is the control for black men who are in the community, who are trying to navigate even through this COVID-19 scare right now.
Listen, we have our problems in the black community, and they're cyclical problems. They roll over, and we have to address the same issues time after time after time after time. But I'll say this, and you're right about the statistical data being manipulated to make it seem like black men are just all out there, hooking up with white women or whoever, and it's not true for the most part. Black men are with black women. However, our visible signs of affluence and influence just seem to lean that way. And because we live in a media-driven society, it doesn't really matter what the reality is. Your reality is your third eye, and that's what it's your universe. So when your universe is exposed to one thing, it doesn't matter what the reality of the rest of the world is. You're going to see it through those lenses that you have to live it. So if they're feeding this narrative into your brain day after day after day after day after day, then that's going to be your reality. And so you're going to argue with that logic, the logic of the numbers and all of that kind of stuff. Because what you're going to say is, well, I don't know where they got those numbers from because all I see is this and all I see is that and blah, 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 blah. And so we have to deal with that. That's the position that we're in. But listen, we got to get on up out of here.
I mean by systemic oppression. And I'm gonna go.
Okay.
That's what I mean by systemic oppression. We're controlled by the media, not necessarily. That doesn't lead to us being control freaks. That leads to the media controlling us. But I really appreciated talking to you, Leo.
Well, listen, I appreciate you calling in. I really, really do. Thank you, and thanks for alerting me to the fact that you were calling in because I didn't know. But that was a good conversation.
No problem. I got your dinner ready. It's over here. Got your shoes ready. So when you come in the bedroom, I'll be right in there. All right.
Okay. Thank you. Who is this masked woman? Yo, you have a good night. All right. My kind of caller. That's what's up. So, all right, y'all. It's 8:38. What the hell? All right, man. Listen, let's do these birthday shout outs and then we're going to get on up out of here. Yeah, I've said we have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They are SPECIAL. They are number one out the box. Wanda Clemens turning 54 years old today. Happy birthday to you, Miss Clemens. And also, my man, comedian Denny Live, turning 51 years old today. Denny Live. All of these years I've known Denny, all of the shows that we've done together, and I never knew that he was a year older than me. But I should have known. Cats be hiding they shit. Just trust me, he was not advertising his age back in the day. Happy birthday to you, Denny Live, turning 51 years old today. And also Aisha Selden, happy birthday to you. And Bernadette Perkins, turning 28 years old today. Happy birthday to you. And also, and she's raising money. Bernadette Perkins is raising money for No Kid Hungry. And also Chevelle Eva Bless Atkinson, happy birthday to you. And Chantel Rumble, happy birthday to you. And Dios Marie de la Rosa, happy birthday to you. And Brenda Lewis, turning 47 years old today. Happy birthday to you. I want to say happy birthday to all of you and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out, rock on and do the damn, rock out, rock on and do the damn thing and do your thing. Y'all represent the queens and kings and do your thing. Y'all represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, hey, yo, check this out, man. We're talking about control freaks tonight. I'm not even really sure that we got the personal true definition down, but I know we tooled around with it, and we took it a lot of places that evidently it needed to go. And I want to say that I appreciate y'all coming through. A control freak are they in control, or are they a freak? Or are they a freak that's in control? I'm not sure. I don't know. But what I do know is that there is a little bit of controlling nature in each and every one of us. And when it's well placed and directed in a positive and construction direction, then it's going to be all right. But when we all crazy with it and manipulative with it and obsessive with it and way too forceful with it, then we're going to push people away from us instead of attracting people to us. And we don't want to do that. You know that we don't want to do that. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I appreciate me some you. Thanks for coming through. And I'm glad that y'all my crew. I see y'all tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. We'll be right back at it. And I don't think we'll be on this long, though. I ain't mean to do no damn near 2-hour show today. I mean, what happened? But it's all right. Love is love, man. So, Blog Talk, we out of here and holla back. I holla back. And YouTube, we out of here. I holla back. I holla back. I said, I holla. Peace, y'all. Oh, don't forget. Don't y'all forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please don't forget to share the show. We're trying to grow this community. I holla back now. Holla. I holla. Peace.